If you've been around the anime space on YouTube or Twitter, you might have seen this video going around.
Ranking the most popular anime from each year to decide once and for all
the best anime of the century!
The anime men are one of the biggest voices in the spaces of anime. And if you were to do just a small scroll on Twitter, you would see that many people, and if you look at the dislike button, are bloody angry. This isn't the first time this year that an anime video has gotten the entire community kind of united in just this anger towards a video that's been dropped. If you remember this one that came out, I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but this one caused insane levels of backlash. And while entirely different types of videos, one is going through anime history, one is a personal ranking of like a ton of anime, there's actually a lot of common ground and some themes that we can pick up on when looking at these two videos. So why is everyone angry? Let's go over the formatting and the tone of their video and go over some of the notes that I've got down. That way, I think we can find some common things that are pretty easily to see why so many people are angry. But before getting into the video, I gotta make this clear. There is absolutely no spite or hatred towards this group. I've been wanting to make a video like this for a while now. There's some of the topics here are like, we're gonna be separate videos, and this video kind of nailed it on the head. So to all the guys at TheAnimeMen, this is not just I hate these guys, they suck, I fucking hate them. It's just talking about this topic, which largely kind of leads us to our main point where I think a lot of people are criticizing them, which is tourism in the anime space. Now, tourism in the anime space has been an ongoing conversation even before the inciting incident, but really the biggest proponent of this idea of tourism comes from the COVID boom. Now, this happens in a lot of niches. You'll find when something becomes trendy and people start latching on, people will go, can you kindly fuck off? You're not a fan of the actual thing. You're only here because it's trending. Most recently, it's happened with Battlefield 6. If I'm a Battlefield fan, I've been playing for the series for like 15 years, and then you go and watch Shroud and these other, Tim the Tatman and these people, and they start or XQC going, oh, Battlefield needs this, Battlefield needs that on the launch day of the beta. It pissed off Battlefield fans. Now with anime, it's with this big COVID boom. A bunch of people come in, they watch some of the new stuff, they watch Attack on Titan, or they watch Demon Slayer or something, and then they take up a part of the community and then they'd be a tourist. They don't respect what comes before it. They do a lot of things that just piss off a lot of people. And unfortunately, the anime men as a group are very much giving signs, and if you saw even some tweets from things that they've said, they are kind of definitively fitting this definition. The one thing I have to quickly say here is, if you've watched my channel for a while now, you will know that while I didn't join during COVID, I watched Avatar during COVID, which set me on the Avatar pipeline to then watch Attack on Titan, and then that's how I got here in 2022. So to say that I'm a tourist, I am making my way through, but the biggest thing I'm trying to do is have an open eyes and try and engage myself more and always open to learn and pick up more information. Like I watched Attack on Titan in 2022, and then I watched Death Note and Chainsaw Man, Vinland, Evangelion in that same year. And then since then I've gone on to now I'm getting closer to finishing Naruto. I'm closer to finishing Hunter x Hunter, but I still feel and JoJo, I have to mention JoJo, but still, there is so much I don't know. For this video, I had to do a ton of research because there's things I just did not know. I'm like, okay, I need to get caught up. And then when you are one of the biggest voices in the anime community, to be basically 5-6 tourists, that kind of comes across as just like, why are you taking up space where someone else could easily, who loves this niche, have that notoriety, have that kind of platform. And I think what makes this even worse is this overall platform push towards like the Mr. Beastification of content, and when you package that up and that insincerity with something important like anime, the people who you're marketing to and your audience, when you're being insincere, how's that meant to be like you're only going to piss people off that way? Like there is an innate like shallowness to Mr. Beast's videos and that Gen Z like reality TV format of constant cut.
To show you the difference between this $50 million nuclear bunker, this $30 million,
which just pisses people off. It's the biggest thing on the platform, absolutely, but then when you're inserting it into every niche, it's just not going to work. Okay, so part one, we're gonna go over the tone, the style and formatting of this video and try and work out where there may have been issues here. We'll just play off the intro because we'll run into the first issue.
Today we're going through 100 years of anime history.
100 years of anime and you do 63. That's the first issue. And if you were to do okay, that's a technicality, that's just wording. The problem is, it's not even 63 years of anime, or how many, I think it's 63. It's not even that many years of anime because they don't actually review any of the anime in the video really until they get to the ones they know in 1997 and 1998 with Berserk and Cowboy Bebop. That's the first issue. The next issue is the concept of ranking based off first episode. In and itself is kind of a thing that most people, even if you look at the comments on Twitter, people go, why? And look, I'm not even against this concept. It has to have then a very good rubric to follow to understand, like, look, some of these anime having a first episode is very different. Like, if you're going back into the 90s, a first episode compared to now, they're just very different. So there has to be something to take into account, cultural, importance, or the people behind the scenes and who worked on it, and then what they went on to go and do from doing this anime in this episode. Because if you're just gonna go, oh, I love Tokyo Ghoul, then it's like, oh, that kind of defeats really the purpose. And then if you're using like, actually I won't go in that. There's one later on that really gets under my nerves, but I'll do that later. Okay, so it's a tier list without guidelines, no rules, or anything to basically say to the audience, how are you ranking these? So like the entire time things are basically put into tiers at random. Is this a joke? Is the entire point is we're going to undermine the retention of the audience? So when you're doing a thing like this, and look, I try and do this with videos, you don't want to make the aim of the joke the audience watching more than a minute. Reason being, because if you get further and further into this video, it just goes, oh, why the fuck did I watch the previous 4 minutes? It's more and more, the joke is you. And as we go on further and going in deeper into their video, you'll start to see these patterns and these kind of like, oh, this was just a waste of time. And so when you're going through some of, we'll go through some of the individual animes they talk about more specifically, but when you get to some of the big ones and they just go, oh, why is this happening? F, D, and why does Goku have a tail? And you're like, huh? I don't even watch Dragon Ball, but what do you mean why does he have a tail? Like, do you not know anything about Dragon Ball or Goku, what it's based on, the importance? Maybe it's self-deprecating, or there's more nuance to it that I'm just not picking up. But when you're watching something and someone kind of just self-reports like that, you kind of go, okay. And on top of this, in the 26 or so minutes that this video is, the amount of times they are doing falling asleep jokes, or say, oh, we are doing it on 2 times speed or 1.5 times speed.
Yeah, we recognize this character and we're giving this anime a little bit more respect, so we're only going to put it at 1.5 times speed.
Oh, so there is genuinely no chance that you're able to properly look at this. And there are countless, I saw some even YouTubers going, hey guys, I've been able to do my job and not watch anime at 2 times speed. Can I get a pat on the back? And I think that's really, really, really funny. But also there's times where I'll watch it in French or Spanish, and then that goes into like their tier ranking. And so it's like, when you're editing this, why not just cut it? Like, that's it. Okay. To wrap up this entire part, I've finished my dot points, is they basically set themselves up to fail from the get-go. From the intro, they were already going to get a large dislike bar filled up. Not only with the knowledge, you guys are friends, so you should be able to know, oh, we know our strengths and weaknesses. Maybe we shouldn't put the guy that hates every anime that isn't from 2011 or after. Let's not put him on a video where most of it is from before then. Like, what you're getting yourself into when you're pitching a video and you're writing it and you're kind of working up. That's kind of what goes into your brief plan of, oh, okay, so we're making this type of video, we're doing on these topics, we're going to do it in this style, and the reaction we want is kind of this. And, it's good to sometimes spice that up and do variety and get different things out of your audience. Sometimes you want to teach them something. Sometimes you just want to entertain or do different things. But you got to be careful, because if you undermine them, then this is what you get. Alright, so part 2, we're going to go through, I did notes on every single year, and then I thought, okay, what's the ones I actually want to talk about? That's what this section's going to be. So starting with instant history and Otage manga calendar, you couldn't have had a worse start.
What's going on here that grabs my attention besides some little tune playing in the background? In a still frame of some character looking at a painting. It's not looking good so far for anime. This is going directly to the F tier category.
They don't explain either of these and they give both an F, and Otage Manga Calendar is a sequel to Instant History. I did just a little bit of research. I'll put up some text on the screen, but like the background, like the Instant History was broadcast on Fuji Television and is considered to be the first anime series to air on television in Japan. The series was broadcast 7 days a week when it first began airing, but did not air on Saturdays beginning in October 1961. Look, I just looked at that up on my anime list. I just like, hey, I've never heard of these. These seem important. They're 1 and 2. Why are these here? That's pretty culturally significant. Like, yeah, it doesn't look as good as Infinity Castle from Demon Slayer. Like, what? Why doesn't look as flashy as this? But to go from that to Astro Boy, where they do this.
Tetsuan Adam. So, Tetsuan Adam, let's go. It's on YouTube.
Yo.
Why is it Astro?
Tetsuan Adam is Astro Boy.
Now look, the 60s Astro Boy wasn't my thing growing up. Mine was the 80s one. We had like the DVDs. I still remember the covers vividly. I'm gonna show screens. Like, these were just the fucking best. I didn't know this was anime. My dad bought it because I was into Transformers. And he's like, oh, here's another like robot kid. Enjoy this. I said Attack on Titan was my first anime in that video, and look, when making a decision to watch anime, like, yeah, that was my first. But, you know, you a lot of times watch anime without you knowing it as a child and growing up. And then you can go back, look back and go, oh, Pokemon's an anime? I didn't know that. That kind of thing. Kind of like living like a childhood of ignorance. And Astro Boy, for me, was absolutely that. But the 1960s one, to be very clear, is one of the most important anime to have ever come. It is the grandfather of anime. Like, again, I did a small bit of research and went to the fandom wiki. After enjoying success both in Japan and abroad as the first anime to be broadcast overseas, Astro Boy was remade in the 1980s, and again, yeah, like this is like very key information that is just very easy to find. But the actually really important part that I actually got this quote was this: at the height of Astro Boy's powers, 40% of the population who had access to a TV watched it. Like, that is insane. Like, for what Astro Boy is for anime, for me, when I think of comics, I think of like the Max Fleischer Superman animated cartoon from the 1940s. And I imagine if I was doing a comic book going through history, which if you want me to do that, you know, leave a comment down below, because that's actually a really cool idea that it just came up off the script. But imagine going back to that and then just crapping on it that the costume or the level of detail or the flashiness or the story's weak. And even just watching that first episode with the laser beam and everything, and just looking at how dynamic the image is, and the color work and the effects, the storyboards, all of it. Just for me, the big thing is the texture, the grain, and everything. When I think about it, it genuinely is like, oh, that's awesome. And that, you know, when you go 40-50 years later to the 1990s and you get the Batman the Animated Series, where it was animated on black paper, black cells instead, so that way it was always a higher contrast. Like coming to comics, you would want to have someone, if you're going to do a video like that, to potentially have that perspective. Or if you want to come from the ignorant point of view and go, oh, this is reacting to it for the first time, to have an open mind to be able to go, oh, this is neat, and then have an appropriate reaction, and then do your research after, and then insert that in. Or it's just pointless having any dialogue about it. Like, holy crap, I bet that these guys would struggle to watch the Generation 1 Transformers show. Like, that is slow-paced, clunky, it is very much G.I. Joe, He-Man, like, yo, Prime, we gotta learn this lesson. And I still love it. I still go back and go, oh, this is charming, the animation and everything, the music. And so the 70s are F and D tiers with little to no explanation. It's, you know, I'm bored or not interested, D tier, F tier. And like, okay, we can kind of skip that generation.
It's amazing, you know what I mean? We had potential for, like, you know, maybe finally something that can give us something we were wanting, and there's no subtitles.
So we just don't understand anything.
Touch is going D tier.
So we're getting to kind of the modern era. We're getting to, I think, 1986. When they get to Dragon Ball, they are surprised that Goku having a tail.
Ball. I don't want anyone attacking me for what I'm about to say, but what the hell did I just watch? Goku with a tail. I've never seen that before.
Even me, someone that doesn't know Dragon Ball that much, besides the memes and TikTok, come on, he has a tail. Like, if we're doing the Mount Rushmore of anime manga, like, if we're being for real, I think universally agreed it has to be something akin to Dragon Ball, Astro Boy, Sailor Moon. And then the last spot, like people argue whether or not you want to put like a slice of life in there or a sports anime of some kind, like a Slam Dunk or something. For me, again, outside looking in, probably one of the big three, because it's not just about, when I think of Mount Rushmore, it's not just the 4 biggest, it's about, you know, same way with the big three, it's not just they sold the most. It's about having a specific reason to be up there, right? This makes the most sense to me. Like, side note, actually, in the comment section, I want to know what your final spot would be. Like, for the big three, like, Naruto, from what I know, was the biggest at the time. It's like the Michael Jordan of the early 2000s of the big three. But then One Piece is like the LeBron James. It's been going 30 years. It's not stopping. I think, as of recording today, is it 11:49 came out. I'm hearing is one of the best chapters in One Piece, that it just redefined. I saw a tweet that says it redefined, like, this is why Oda is probably the best mangaka to be out there, right? How are you doing that 30 years in? That's unbelievable, right? Or nearly more than 30 years. But then Bleach. Look, I like making Bleach jokes. It's really, really, really funny, but I'm a Jujutsu Kaisen fan. So, like, I can't do that and not go, oh look, without Bleach, there is no Jujutsu Kaisen. And it's inspired many more. I think it's Black Clover, a bunch of them, or most of the modern anime and shonen are derivative of Bleach. So you guys let me know, what's that 4th spot? Which brings us to the modern era. And unfortunately, this section is just filled with bias with the stuff that they've already watched or liked, and it's kind of hard to watch. Basically, the ones they do watch or have seen get the most screen time. I didn't even say this in the upper section, which I should have, right, with the formatting. Out of the 63 years, they give 8 reviews, and most of them come in the modern era. That is also a big one, right? And when you're looking at the video that was going through, like, I watched like 1,000 anime, I watched every anime, and this took 9 years to make, was a bunch of them were, I don't like this genre, 400th, I don't like this one, 390th, this one's kind of mid, 200th, and you're like, that's not a review, that's not anything, or it's just the plot. Like, this guy does this guy does this, this guy does that, F tier. You're like, where does the F come from?
What you want to say about the later part of Tokyo Ghoul Anime? The first episode of season 1 is actually a banger. Let me make a new tier. The awesome Ultra Double S Plus tier. Let's go to that tier because Tokyo Ghoul's that good.
And then when you get to anime that, like, I personally love, so it's like, oh cool, it's the one I know. Like, normally in a video like this, you kind of wait for the ones that you know and kind of go, oh, what are they going to say about it? And then you get to it and look, like, they say what I want to hear about the ones I know, but then it's like, but it feels shallow. It feels shallow because it has to be propped up by dunking on ones I don't have that affinity to, and I feel like, oh, that's kind of like a bummer. And then, alright, so before, when I was about to get set off on a tangent, it was about this, it was about Berserk, because when they talk about Berserk, they do this, right?
Finally, something we know, finally something that's actually good, except for these all dookie booty. This may be the first S tier, so. Black Swords in the first episode, I'm gonna put an S tier. It's iconic, it's beautiful, it is Berserk, it is the second, actually no, it's the greatest manga of all time.
Like, you heard him, right? It's stunning, it's beautiful, it's what we know, it's what we love, all those kind of, like, those types of descriptors. It's the greatest manga of all time. Awesome. That's not what this video is. This is the first episode. So what is the first episode of Berserk? It's a very risky episode, right? And look, you know, that Berserk anime is very good. You know, it's adapting mostly Golden Age, and that first episode starts after where the Golden Age is, and then it goes back in time. And so I feel like there's an interesting dialogue to talk about why that works or that doesn't. And again, he loves it, gives it S tier, but he has to, before that, has to bring down everything before. An S tier isn't valuable if you have to basically make everything below it garbage to prop it up. With One Punch Man, this is later on, this quote really annoyed me.
I get hate for this, but I don't like One Punch Man. I think it's really boring. It's a C tier at best.
If you're gonna have people who have a pretense or pre-established opinions on the show, and they're just gonna come in with, oh, I already hated it, or I don't like it, yeah, this tier, and you're like, then I don't get it. Again, moving on. I gotta move on. That's just, I don't understand.
We're finally at 2011, and do you want to know what that means, Jeremy?
Oh, so we gotta go back in time to 2011. Hunter x Hunter. You had the perfect opportunity here. This is the crux of the entire video sums up with this one here. You have Hunter x Hunter, which is an anime I recently got into. I'm just past episode 100, and I'm talking to all my Hunter x Hunter fans, and it's a great experience. I'm going, oh, here's this. In that first episode, there's a lot to say. And then when you get to the end section where they're actually doing a review, that's so insane. But they get someone who has never seen Hunter x Hunter, and then a Hunter x Hunter fan in the same clip. And what do?
I've personally never seen Hunter x Hunter. Sam is one of the biggest glazers of Hunter x Hunter, so I'll let him take the reins for this one.
The film.
Oh god.
Just is that it doesn't have all like the cheesy anime tropes.
And then they fast forward it, so there's actually no insight because they're doing a joke about, oh, he's a super fan, so he just doesn't stop talking. And I get the joke, but it's the 4th review, and this entire thing is set up for the non-fan to potentially go, hey, I didn't watch this in 2011 or watch the original show or the manga. This is what I think. I see some foreshadowing here that's really, really interesting. Or this animation direction style reminds me of this. Any insight from someone who is new to that show would have been actually really, really cool to see.
First episode of Attack on Titan reminded me how amazing it was. It easily has the best first episode world building I've ever seen. This is one of, if not the best first episodes of anything ever. Easy S tier.
Best first episode world building, easy S tier. This is probably the best example of a show they like, that I like, and giving it an S because they already love it. Is this as deep as we're really going to go in a 26-minute video? When first writing this section, I thought they spoke about the music or the storytelling in this episode, and still I criticized how shallow it was, but when playing it back inside of Premiere Pro, I realized, like, holy shit, that's not at all what they say. They just say, best first episode world building, and that's it. And as someone who thinks that this is, like, the best first episode in any show, but that's the point you want to make? Like, I'm sorry, that's one of, like, the least things this episode does. Like, talk about the writing specifically, like what parts of the foreshadowing grips you, or how the characters are established, or how well the music swells you. Like, why do you like it? If I had never seen Attack on Titan, it seems you gave it an S because of the world building. I swear to God, if there was an anime about building houses and roads, they would go, #1 anime of all time, best world building. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Maybe it's my fault, but just saying terms of things that are just in a episode, just great animation, great plot, great whatever. It's lacking the counterbalance in all the jokes that you've been doing for the first 20 minutes. Like, if you want to do all those jokes at the expense of your audience, the art that you're consuming, that you're watching, you need to be able to back it up that you are actually paying attention and are worth listening to, not just falling asleep or watching it in French. Which gets us to the part where I think they should move forward from here, and how I think group content creators like this should make videos. And by any means, I'm not saying I'm the one above all approving what can be done and what can't be. However, the conversation around the damage the Mr. Beastification of videos on YouTube has done is a complicated one to have. I do think there are channels that do this specific style of content right, in being able to be loud, fun, funny, film with a bunch of your bros, and, you know, also happen to love anime and fit market trends. And I don't want to glaze them too hard because, like, I could probably do that for a while. But if you've seen the channel Anime IRL, it's a group filled with anime content creators. But specifically, I love Danny Motta and Nick Connor. Like, those two, they do a podcast together and they're separate channels. They're fucking hilarious. But the entire group are, and then they get other anime content creators to come on. And it's just a ton of people who love anime who then do fun things like Family Feud or Wheel of Fortune, but it's not like the act of taking game shows and animefying them that makes us good. It's just when you look at the content of the TheAnimeMen, it's very much your Sidemen, Beta Squad, just a group of guys, but instead of FIFA or soccer, it's anime. Again, that is fine. It's just they are humor first, then whatever they're doing. I just don't think many in the anime community are gonna like taking the piss out of artists that you've built your entire brand around. The silver lining here is that they haven't actually done anything bad or wrong, like not at all. It's why I point out that this isn't hate. I actually hope to see them improve and push themselves as content creators just to see if they can make better stuff. Especially given their size, like they're huge. The one thing I commend them on is not doing what a lot of these groups do, which is fill their videos with OF models into their normal content pipeline, which just serves as one giant ad for these OF creators for the market that is largely dominated by children. It's just, for me, it's morally wrong to advertise that type of content in content aimed at children, especially like FIFA or anime. It's odd. I think performance-wise, they're doing perfectly fine, and most of their fans will not care. But they will not be able to escape this tourism moniker if they do not change something at least. But who knows? They're doing much, much better than I am, views-wise, and probably everything-wise. And I just don't want them just to see this as me coming across as being a dick, when they're just trying to do something in their eyes is just being fun. Now, maybe I'm overthinking this, but what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on this situation, this video, or these types of videos that have been coming out, and the idea of tourism in the anime space, and the Mr. Beastification of content in general? Please go watch our other anime vids that we've done. We've got playlists for dedicated animes like Attack on Titan or Jujutsu Kaisen. Please, any of them, go watch them. Leave a comment saying you came from this video. Thank you so much to the patrons. If you want to help us, there's a link in the comment section down below to help us on Patreon, and join the Discord with other people who love to talk about anime, comics, all this stuff that we talk about here. It's in the Discord. Please join there. You get behind the scenes. You guys get the input on scripts. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.